Hello, welcome to Jade Kind Gaming. My name is Adam, and today we will be unboxing another of the Pathfinder flip mats. This time, the bigger flooded dungeon. I think I already got a flooded dungeon flip mat, but this is a bigger flooded dungeon. So, taking a look here. Of course, wet, dry, and permanent markers erased from the mat. Read the instructions on the back. You do need to have a dry erase marker to erase the permanent marker. Little example, tiny little things. But yeah, it is bigger because it just folds out to bigger. It's still the 1-inch squares for your standard little minis on it. And it still folds up to the same size. It just has some extra flaps as it folds in and things like that. But it folds out to 27 by 39, so a little bit bigger. 45% larger than normal. And two different environments of dungeons that are flooded. So, let's go this much extra this way. And this much extra this way. So, So I have enough trouble showing these off when they're normal size. But here's the wide look at this one. The blue water. And let's start on this side. Because there are a couple entrances actually over here. Green grass. And it's up against some sort of like lake or whatnot, which, you know, sort of leads you to what feeds in the water. On the dry side of things, entrance, and you can see like the broken ground as it goes to grass, and weird patterns in the dungeon floors, kind of almost wave-like patterns, you know, if you look at it. So, feeding into that mindset. Of course, there are stairs, elevation, which explains why some of it is less flooded. So more, and obviously you can draw things or put encounters, or you know, if you have 3D furniture, you can put, you know, you can just have furniture from their sets and put that in here, or draw little things with your wet erase markers or whatever it is to decorate up these rooms, but they're just kind of plain rooms. I'm just going to fold this in half, poke around, and this goes back into this. Keep folding it. Hallway, which is the same that this second entrance came through until getting to this broken staircase, which we'll get to in a bit. Alternatively, you can come this way, and there is, built into the map, a little, looks like water elemental shrine. So, there's that, and then this room has sort of a broken area where the water, which is flowing here, one way or the other, probably connected to this water out here, but is this water supposed to be out here? Who knows? Right, so broken off here. And sort of splits here. Going through the stairs, the water comes through here. And here, this little, you know, dry area around the edge of this. The stairs come through here, more shore around the edges. Just sort of pillars that are holding up the ceiling throughout. More of this design here as we get towards a few different things. So this water coming through here connects to this point. The water coming up from this area continues to wrap around more little shore areas, more, you know, area that connects to the ceiling. But this connects to this point. And then from this point, there also goes back to this little area where it seems to have some sort of sinkhole where it's draining down below. So, is this some sort of magical pool of water to the elemental plane of water, and it's flooding the area? The area outside that's water is water because this is like bubbling over, draining into the Underdark or the Underdoom or whatever, flooding up an area out there, and you have to stop the magic bubbling up from within. Could be. Might be. Maybe it's, draining water, and like water is like going up and like disobeying gravity to like suck its way into here or something, and it could all be in reverse, or perhaps the stairs you're looking at go the other way and it's all flowing down into this. Regardless, it's weird elemental pool of water and the water that flows forth from it, and this could be a Underdoom, Underdark, or just a deep cavern below that it also is draining into. But yeah, so no direct like areas that lead off into like, oh, what dungeon does it go to? But there is this side of the dungeon that very easily you can put like a dungeon tile against that has like one of the pathways and just continue it on. So that is an option if you need a bigger dungeon than this. But as is, it's confined with its own little, dungeon room on this bigger dungeon. But we will also take a look at this here. This one is flooding with different, not so blue, pretty waters. A little more sinister looking. But, again, also very big, and it hides me. So this one, and very much like a marshy area. You have all these trees and marshland out here. So it has various entrances. Again, looking into like a rocky outside, just from the look of that. But various points of entry, whether going into this little room here, up towards, well, we'll get to this room in a moment, or what looks to be like, it floods in here, and these stairs go up, so it stops here, and these stairs go up, so it stops here, but like this area is all flooding. Or it looks like a non-intended entrance has opened up and ground is here. Maybe something like collapsed and there's water in here. It's like you can have a high ground and jump down into it. Carrying on from there, that goes into here, as well as this long tunnel continuing. Sort of a entrance here, more sort of just flooded waters in here, and you can have like enemies in every one of these alcoves. This room, however, comes up and it has some sort of shrine and altar and like a sinister looking marble look. But yeah, that's a creepy looking, maybe almost looks like a tentacled frog. Is this a shrine to a froghemoth? Who knows? But it continues on out. This long pathway from here just keeps going. And this room here keeps going along here. There keeps being more outside area way over here with another entrance point further down. Again, all flooded little rooms here. It's, the way they do their dungeons, it's just like design what you want your rooms to be for. This one does have a couple. An exit that's designed like, oh, this is just the entrance to this dungeon. Keep going out. Now, obviously, you can get your marker, draw a line, cross hatch it, and say, no, this doesn't carry on. This is the end of the dungeon. This is all that there is. But it gives you an option designed in to keep the dungeon going. at the end of this long tunnel here, there's this sort of pit of darkness, this deep well raised up here. So, who knows what's within there? And from this altar room here, kind of carries on a few more side chambers. Again, I mean, it's got like texture, like looks like vines and growth coming out, whether in the water area or not. But otherwise, just kind of dungeon floor. More areas that go down. Maybe is this a floor that stairs that went down? So this area is all submerged, I guess, because it went through the stairs. The water look there for some reason. But yeah, so just other little chambers, and like I said, another exit there. So kind of got like a swamp entrance to some sort of flooded dungeon, or I guess the way that it's going, it's not necessarily flooded further in, but the entrance is flooded at very least. Which can be great for, like, oh, your dungeon has a purpose and that's what they need to get there, but maybe it's, you know, lizard folk or bullywugs or something has set up in the flooded entrance, and they've retrofitted it to be what they need. You know, they intended to flood it so that they could use it as they wanted. And your players need to get deeper into the dungeon, but they have to fight their way through whatever's, living in the entrance chambers now, in order to find what they need. But yeah, so just a couple of flooded dungeon options that are bigger, as they are large. Which, is unwieldy to show off on the camera and all this, but on the table just fills up a nice section of the table and works pretty well for that. So I will link down below where you can try and pick this up online. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.